If you were no longer affected by the judgment of others and you stopped judging yourself, would you make different choices? Why make choices in your life based on judgments instead of on your awareness of what would create the life and living you desire? Everyone has the potency to make inspired choices. Get ready to listen, share, and experience the creativity that is you. Now, here is the host of Inspired Choices Radio Show, Possibilities Coach Christine McIver. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Time on A2Zen.fm.
Hello, hello, hello. How are you this evening? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Whether you're listening live or you're listening in the replay, I'm really, really grateful that you are here. So it is Wednesday, December the 23rd, 2015, and tonight we've got a really fun show planned for you. So it is called The Gift of Christmas Future, and we are doing predictions, and I have a surprise guest, and my surprise guest is going to be joining me in just a moment. And until the guest arrives, I just want to tell you a little bit about myself. I am a possibilities coach, and I love to work with individuals and businesses to assist them in creating everything that they desire with all the possibilities available in the universe. I'm an Access Consciousness Certified Facilitator, a bars facilitator, an energy healer, radio show host, producer, and I happen to be the owner of A2Zen.fm. How does it get any better than that? I love to do a lot of different things, and I bring together all of my tools in my toolbox, which is more like a shed, to assist you in moving forward in the direction that will give you everything that you know is possible. So do reach out to me. The first 5 minutes are always free. Let's see if we can create something amazing, especially going forward in 2016. You can connect with me through my website at inspiredchoices.ca, or feel free to send me an email, Christine@inspiredchoices.ca. Of course, you can always find me on Facebook, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, and probably in a lot of other places I don't even realize. So I am really looking forward to tonight. I love working with this individual. I've been working with this individual for a number of years, and wow, does this predictor ever have a lot in the toolbox that they use. So my guest tonight grew up with a curiosity of all things supernatural. At a very young age, she was aware that she could perceive ghosts. In her tween years, she began reading all the metaphysical type books she could find and started asking where she could go for classes and lessons. At the age of 17, she walked in to her first metaphysical bookstore she had been in and was totally in awe of the possibilities of what was out there, and the adventure and the awareness have expanded ever since. This individual has been reading since she was just 11 years old, and she has been reading for people all over the world. International, very well-known individuals that she actually can't tell us their names because they want to keep that private. But she does tarot readings publicly. She does all sorts of things. This woman is extremely aware. And if you would love to step into seeing what she might come up with for you, you could actually call in and you could get a reading live on the air right now. So if you're in the U.S., you call 815-880-8255. In Canada, 613-800-8736. Or you can Skype us at A2Zen.fm. Now, you know what, we might have to put you on hold if we have too many callers. So feel free to call in right away, and we will take you as soon as we have a vacancy. So I would like to now welcome my mysterious guest. How are you this evening?
Hello, darling. How are you? I'm good.
I am so happy to hear you. I am so thrilled to have you on the show tonight. And oh my God, future predictions. I love surprises, and I also like to have a peek into the future. So how many people out there right now, I wonder, are sitting at home thinking about their future? I know a lot of people, you know, this is Christmas for many, many people around the world, and so they're knee-deep in getting everything ready. But I know that many people are looking to their past and then quickly looking to their future, wondering what it will be. How have you found people are at this time of year wanting to know about their future and their predictions?
What I know is like people often they have like problems that around now for coming into the new year. They want to know what's going to happen for the whole year. So they're looking for their business, they're looking for their relationships, they're looking for everything so they can have more for their life in the next year. A lot of them are like very, very like worried a lot. They get like very nervous.
They get very nervous about the future.
Yeah, about their future, about like the money is going out, where is their money? Their husband's gone out late at night, where is his husband? That sort of thing. It's like a lot of worrying about relationships, a lot of worrying about the money.
Okay, cool. And what are people more worrying about their own personal, or is there also a lot of people out there worrying about the world as a whole?
There are people who are concerned about the world, but there aren't so many people who are mostly concerned about their own stuff. Like, not very many people say, how can I help the planet? How can I help the world? Most people are saying, I want more money. I want more business to work. I want more my relationships to work.
Okay.
They're not really like, not so many people are thinking like that they are having, how can I help the world wars, or there is like economic problems. They're not asking about that. They're wanting to know like their own life.
Okay. And if you were, before we get into any of our questions and our callers calling in, if you were to look at 2016, because we're talking about Christmas predictions for the future, what do you see, what will you be predicting for the future of the world and in Canada?
Let me just check for a minute. I didn't really like look for the whole world yet. I will look like right now.
Okay, great.
There's something changing right now for the economy, for the whole world. There is, so the tarot cards is like Ace of Discs comes up, and that's like a new beginnings. Sometimes it means new ways of doing things for the economy. So for the world, it's like a new, sort of like a new seed is going to get planted. So we're going to have to look at how people are using their money, how people are investing, and the whole world together is like, comes also the Prince of Discs, and I call him the accountant. So really we have to start to look at how we're taking account of things, how we're looking to become more conscious of our money, what we're doing with our money, so it doesn't so we don't lose sense at all, and we don't fall off of our own path with our money.
Okay. Awesome. And what about Canada?
What right now has like that's global, right? So with like the money for the whole world. So people who are investing, it's good right now to start to look at like, what are you going to do with your money that's going to be different now. This need to plant some new seeds, invest in something different, put your money somewhere else. Like with this, it's sometimes putting your money into things that are more practical, like houses or properties, or things that are more like less of it having to do with stock markets, more like having to do with properties. So, and for Canada, we have Four of Cups. It has to do with like a sense of having more luxury. So for Canada, things are looking pretty good. Like we are going to have more sort of, people are going to be more happy. Could be that we have a very handsome prime minister. It's nice. So
we do have a handsome prime minister.
This helps us a lot. So help us globally.
And what about can you pull a card for the United States, because we have a lot of U.S. listeners, and they've got an election coming up. So I know there's a lot of question going on over there.
Like today, when I was thinking about this show, I actually had like an awareness about some cards, and they just came up when we picked up for the United States. So two things is like we already know there's going to be something, there's lots of changes happening, and again, there's more aces coming. So aces are, all these things are like brand new things that are getting birthed into the world. And so we have that with the Ace of Discs for the whole world with the money. For America, we have Ace of Wands, and that's like very, in my cards, it's very like, it's like a volcano of energy. It's coming out from them. So it can be like a lot of anger. There can be a lot of people who are going to argue. There's going to be like a lot of tension. But this is not just because of the politics, but the politics does have a lot to do with it. With the Ace of Swords comes up, that has a lot to do with the communication needs to change. So, you know, there will likely be different communication for people too. Like there's going to be a lot of things that are going on for the people that is really going to be like for them kind of like a totally new way of being. So whoever is going to get the president is going to be somebody who's going to make their country completely different than what they have now.
Wow.
It's like a great birth of a new way of communicating with people. So,
and do you get that will be a very positive new way for the country, for the U.S.?
It's going to be hard for the U.S. This Ace of Wands can be really tricky for people. They can get really caught up. They can get, because they're not, maybe so conscious, they're getting more like feeling intense, a lot of intensities in their bodies, a lot of intensity, a lot of people fighting for no reason. There's like a lot of tension going on in families, like all together in America. It's like if we had a picture of it, it's like people screaming all the time. Like there's so much energy there that's like so what can we do for America to like change something, if we can change something for them?
Okay, so everyone that's listening now or listening in the replay, can you just do an energetic 1, 2, 3 for more expansion and possibilities and greater ease for the United States? On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Whew. Awesome. And whenever, I would like to invite everyone that whenever you are seeing challenges going on with the U.S. or any country, it doesn't have to just be the U.S., any country at all where you're seeing challenges, just contribute to a greater possibility without a point of view of how that has to turn out. Your contribution, your energetic contribution, can make a very, very big difference, especially if many of us are doing this all around the world. So, you know what? We are going to go for our break, Goddess Lazenza, and when we come back, we have some callers waiting on the line. So everyone, if you would like to call in, as I said, you'll want to do it soon so that you can absolutely get your questions asked about your future predictions. You can do that by calling in, coming over to adazen.fm, jump into the chat room, and you'll see the phone numbers right to your left. So you are listening to Inspired Choices Radio on adazen.fm, and I have a very special surprise guest with me tonight. We're talking about future Christmas predictions. Stay tuned. We will be back just in a moment.
Many of us make choices in our lives based on the past or what others think. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire in this moment? By tuning into Inspired Choices Radio Show with Possibilities Coach Christine McIver, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to do just that. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to create the life and living you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices Radio Show.
Oh no! January 1st is coming up and I need to set my New Year's resolutions. That is how most of us react, and then default to what everyone else has decided is what we should change. But what would you actually like to change or create? Join me and a group of potent creators the first 4 days of the new year in the teleseries called Kickstarting the New Year. You'll receive 4 90-minute live calls filled with tools to create clarity on what it is you truly desire to create and be, and the tools to create that desire with ease. Go to Donielle.com, DONNIELLE.com for more information and to sign up. Kickstarting the new year. What would you like to create in the new year? The world can't wait to find out.
This is Inspired Choices Radio Show with Possibilities Coach Christine McIver. To participate in the program today, please call toll-free in the U.S. 815-880-8255, TALK, or Canada 613-800-8736. Or you can Skype us. Our Skype name is a2zen.fm. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@inspiredchoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, everyone. I am so glad you're here with me tonight, and we have a very special surprise guest who is doing future Christmas predictions. I can't talk, apparently. It's been an interesting day here, so I would love for you to pull a card for me. But before you do that, I would like to reveal who you are to our listeners. So this amazing being is...
Hi, everybody. This is Melissa. So for those of you who ever listened to this radio station, you might have heard the Pleasure Zone. And that's me with my kick-ass Serbian accent. So I often will use that accent if it makes people really happy.
And, you know, I thought it was very fun to do this, to be very mysterious about this. You know, a lot of people don't really know everybody else's capacities. And Melissa has, like many brilliant friends of mine, has a lot of huge capacities. And when she shows up on the radio, she's got one capacity she's showing up with there. When she shows up in different spaces and places, she has different capacities. She's an amazing potent body worker. She's a bars facilitator. You change so many people's worlds with that. And this is one of your very first capacities that you started to bring into the world and be paid for, right, Melissa?
Yeah, it was actually. I think the very first time I got paid for a reading, I was 22, though I'd been 21 or 22, and I'd actually been, taking classes for years prior to that. And the first time I got paid I got $5 for a reading, and it was like the high. I had like never had such a high in my life. I was like, oh my God, I got paid for this. I got $5.
Wow.
And then I went crazy and I asked for 20, and I was like, whoa, I got $20 for an hour reading. I think I spent like 3 hours with the person, but I was like so thrilled to get money for it.
Well, you're certainly worth more than $20 for 3 hours.
That was 20 years ago.
Good.
I changed a bit.
I hope you've put your rates up.
Yeah, it was actually like a time about 15 years ago. I started working with the Omega Center in Toronto, and it was a friend of mine who actually was like, no, you cannot charge that little. And they termed me the junior reader. I was the only junior reader there, which I thought was even hilarious at the time. I'm like, dudes, I'm like as old as you. I've been doing this for as many lifetimes as you guys have been, so you're like 5 years older than me, but I'm junior? Okay, whatever. I took the role. I just played it.
You just played it. Oh, that's awesome. Well, you are definitely no junior at what you do, and what I love about what you have done, Melissa, is you've taken your knowledge of all of these classes that you've taken, and you've brought in the tools of access consciousness, and you marry together, and you be the invitation for all of us to step into knowing, but you also give us some phenomenal things out there, which is tarot card reading. So very quickly, can you pull one for me, please?
For sure. So anything in particular, Christine, or the usual? I just won't name it.
Just pull a damn card.
I love you. If it happens to be the usual, I'll just...
We will have a conversation later.
We'll have a private conversation. I see penises. No, I'm kidding. Okay, cool. Actually, the Knight of Swords comes up. So the Knight of Swords, often in tarot, for anybody who's listening, he can often be a person. So they often are characters. And in this particular deck, he is like flying at super speeds, like constant movement, constantly on go. So, Christine, if you happen to have a fellow in that you don't see very often because he's on the go, 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 the Knight of Swords is very much that. He's somebody who, as much as he can be an amazing communicator when he communicates, can also be somebody who can be very indecisive at times as well, because he's looking at options all the time, like this or that, this or that, this or that. So, wow, what's going on in the background?
I apologize. There seems to be some need of loud noises in the background. It's a bus or a fire truck going by.
Awesome.
Okay, so the card for a man in my life, you said, right?
Yeah, so right now it's coming up with the Knight of Swords. So it's like really when cards come up for people, it's like this is just like, this might be a dominant energy in your life right now, something that you have on your mind, something that you're like, I'd like to know more information about, and like, what is it like, if this is a person that you're like, how come I don't hear from this person? Well, according to this card, it's like go, 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 constant movement. Like if he wasn't an airline pilot, I would go, he's an airline pilot, but I already know he's not an airline, because there's like such movement going on. And like the energy is a bit frenetic. So it's like, the energy is a bit frenetic. It's like sometimes tricky to kind of get you to be heard or to communicate, because the energy is all like as if you have 20 people screaming out at the same time. It's like trying to hear one person, right? So for him, it's very like buzzy and frenetic.
Okay. Wow. All right. Well, I will definitely keep all of that in mind. Thank you.
Okay, cool. You're welcome.
So we have Carol on the line. Carol is here to have a card pull. So Carol, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Thank you for joining us.
Hey, guys. This is
Carol, who's
timing.
also...
I've been meaning to get in touch with Melissa.
That's awesome. How's it get any better than this? For those of you who don't know, Carol is super awesome at communicating with businesses, so I'll give you a little in there too.
Wow. Group hug. So, Melissa, can you pull a card for Carol, please?
Yeah, Carol, do you have like an area of your life you want to look at in particular, or you just want me to kind of go with what's coming up?
Yeah, we should go with business, please.
Okay, I'm going to actually take 3 cards for you, Carol, just for fun. So we're going to do a card that I refer to as the overview. Okay. And we'll look at any things that you can implement, like things that you can take action on. And then we're going to look at how this will actually contribute to changing things for you, or that it will, will this change anything? Okay, and Wicked. So I just want to start with the last card first, because sometimes I see a card and I'm like, woohoo, and I just want to go there. So the last card, which is where will this actually take your business, it's the 9 of Discs. So the 9 of Discs for me, and in this particular card, it's so shiny, has so much to do with like all your past efforts coming to fruition. So when you're like, holy God, I've done a lot of work, like when am I going to reap the rewards of this? This is one of these cards that says like, just keep on putting your step forward, like keep on taking that action, because that action, whatever that is, which I will talk about in a second, is really going to get you to this place of feeling like a sense of joy financially. So again, discs are about money, and they also have to do with bodies. So, and I think it's really funny for me that tarot has always had that connection between bodies and money. So when I came to Access, and they're always like saying, communicate with your body about the money, because your body is the one that requires the money. It made little sense to me that would be it. So the 9 of Discs it's in this particular deck is called Gain. And the image is like a lot of light coming in from external sources. So for you too, it's just to be aware that there are like multiple sources of income starting to come through. So like literally you might know like 7 or 8 even in the next year sources of income coming through. So part of that is like to keep adding, like what can I add to my life today to allow my income streams to come from everywhere in the entire universe, apparently. So how many streams
That's
of
awesome.
income?
You can stop there.
Cool.
That's awesome.
I would like to talk about the overview though first, okay, Carol, if that's okay with you?
Yeah.
So there's some so it's the moon card, and the moon has a lot of stuff that we try and keep secret, or we try and hide from the world. So anything you're trying to hide from the world or hide from yourself, if you just start to acknowledge and bring it to the light, would be fantastic. Especially things around your awareness and around your capacities. So the moon has a lot to do with psychic abilities, intuition, and also it has to do with dream time. So, your capacities in dream time, and like, what if you could get paid for your dreams? So, would that be fun? Like, in some way, there's some connection between your intuition, your dream, your awarenesses in your dreams, and that you can actually utilize that to incorporate into different money flows. And at the same time, it's like, wow, how do I do that? So, just start playing with it. Literally, like, the more you play with the dream stuff for you, I could see it's almost like, in a way, it's something that becomes really tangible, whether you turn it into a class or a book or something like that people actually can grasp. There's something in the works right now. So, too, for you, you might notice that you are getting a lot of information in your dream time. So if you start asking before you go to bed, universe, please show me in my dreams what's required, you might find that you're going to get a lot more information then than you will like during your waking days, when most people are like, okay, business, what energy, space, and consciousness can me and my body be to contribute to you right now? So, so just to start asking some of that beforehand when you go to bed, and then start with that and see where things go.
That's awesome.
How cool is that?
Great.
Thanks for calling in, Carol.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So before we take our next caller, Melita, I would just like you to tell all of our listeners about what you've created for people that really love this type of work that you do, that would like to learn how to do it even better.
Yeah, so I have a site that I just recently put up called bustopenyourpsychicself.weebly.com. You can go on there. I've got classes. I've got a monthly call coming up every month, once a month for the next following year. And starting in February, I've got an 8-week intensive call where you will get an hour to an hour and a half call once a week for 8 weeks that looks at various different things. And the last one we did just finished yesterday, the last 8-week call. And it was pretty awesome. We had a lot of information come up in there, even stuff like that I wasn't even aware of until we had the calls. Like, so we started communicating with the planet. So instead of buying everything that are in books that I've read for, the last several centuries, we're looking at like what our communication with all of these things, whether it's numerology, whether it's tarot cards, whether it's any of the stuff that, are so-called secret hidden mysteries. It's like, what do we actually know about them? So we're using that class to get our knowing out. And the monthly calls are going to be similar. They're more like practices.
Cool. And so they can sign up for either or both on this website, bustopenyourpsychicself.weebly.com. And if you are listening in the replay and you're not in the chat room to get the link, come into the A to Zen website, look for my call in my archives for December the 23rd, and you will find those links there. So we have our next caller. Faith is on the line. Welcome,
awesome.
Faith.
Hi, Faith. How are you?
I'm great. Hi, Melissa.
Cool. So what would you like to look at today?
Well, it's kind of general, but I'm looking for more ease with my creations, money, and my relationships.
Cool. So before I even draw a card, my curiosity is, one thing is like, because I'm starting to get a lot of entities on this one.
Yeah.
So who's actually contributing to you and who's not contributing to you with your creations? Like, have you kind of gone through them to see like what's going on with that stuff? Like, have you asked some questions around like, hey, entities, are any of you contributing to me, or any of you actually like, contributing to stopping this?
Contributing to stopping this is probably a good question to ask, because there seems to be a lot of stopping energy going on.
Yeah, the first initial like in my body, what I was getting as awareness was like as if I had a hand on my chest going, no. I'm like, who the fuck are you to tell me no? So I'm just wondering if that's something that is like prominent right now, is like all the no's coming out at you.
Yeah, I've really been, I have 2 or 3 things that are coming up for me that I want to create, and something just always comes up to stop me. So I'm getting like all these no's, even though I think I should, or I feel like I should be moving forward.
Okay, so, cool. Yeah. So just for fun, you could try this just for fun. See how many other things you can ask to get a no on, like asking, say, your neighbor, hey, neighbor, can I get like $15,000 off of you? So that you can start receiving no's instead of having them stop you dead in your tracks.
Okay.
You know,
try and get no's, right?
Yeah, receive the no's. Like really start to receive them, and like say go to Tim Hortons and ask if you could get, you know, your Tim Hortons coffee paid for by Tim Hortons.
Okay.
Like as many things as you can come up with that you think are going to get a no on, but people might start to say yes. Because it's the things that you thought were going to have a yes on them. It's like everything is the opposite of what it appears to be, and nothing is the opposite of what it appears to be. Right. So when you start to ask for the things that you think are totally freaking outrageous, and you're like willing to receive a no on it, then the ones that, do you know where I'm from? It's like the ones that you are, so it's that kind of energy. So it's almost like to me as if you started to be really willing to receive no's, not have them stop you dead in your tracks, things would just like, I literally feel like I just got shot out of a cannon as soon as you started receiving no's. So it'll fly like really fast as soon as you start receiving that.
Okay, I'm willing to make that a game and play with it so that it's not, oh my God, someone's going to say no. Right?
As much fun as you can. Yeah, instead of going, will you have a session with me? No, and then you get heartbroken and you like put yourself down for it. And it's like, so to make it the things that will be fun, like, hey, can I get a free cake from the bakery today?
Sure, I can make it a game for sure.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Thank you so much for calling in, Faith. And you got to let us know how that game goes.
Yeah. I will.
Awesome.
Things will explode.
Woohoo! Exploding yeses and no's.
Explode my awesomeness all over everyone.
That's awesome. Phenomenal. We love it.
There's a name for that.
Okay, so we're moving on. Thank you, Faith, so much for calling in. Okay. So, Melitza, when you're doing this, when you're doing the readings, you're using tarot cards, but you're also using your psychic abilities at the same time, right?
Yeah, like with Faith, it was like the energy was so like in my face that it was like there. Even if I picked a card, it would match it. So it's not, I don't rely on the cards. Sometimes I bring them out for fun.
Right.
Yeah.
And is it true that everyone can learn how to tap into these abilities?
So, Christine, what are you aware of? Like, how many of us do it all the time? So, when you were a baby, like, how many of us as babies communicated telepathically with our parents? Just because our parents were totally daft didn't mean that we weren't communicating. They just couldn't hear us. So, how much of that is like we have been aware of energies our entire lives? And now it's like a matter of like some people have different senses that are more heightened maybe, right? Like they might perceive smells and that gives them information, or they might perceive things visually and that gives them information. Like with Faith, it was like my body gave me information. I was like, and I was aware that's not mine, right? So I could say like years ago, before the tools of access, I would have had Faith would have come in for a reading. She would have sat in my booth and I would have went, whoa. And I was like, oh my God, what the hell's going on? I don't feel very good. Instead of going, oh, interesting. So what's going on for her? What is that energy?
Okay.
So that was one of the things like the in the training that I had done, we kind of did that, but we didn't do enough of it, to be honest. So yeah, for any of you out there who are listening and you do psychic readings already, it's just like, please play with that tool of who does it belong to, because you'd be surprised how psychic you really are. That's one of my favorite tools to really start to acknowledge like how psychic you really are.
So we all have these abilities. It's just to the degree that which we tap into them and use them and expand them, correct?
Yeah, and it's like any muscle, right? So if you, say, are an athlete and you've been running your whole life and you have like amazing, you can run really fast, you'd be like equivalent to, say, somebody who can do reading really fast. It's just a muscle that I've been practicing and stretching for a really long time. Yeah.
Well, you know, a lot of people, I'll hear them say, you know, this person's gifted in this or gifted in that, and it's like, you know, we've often put people who have strengthened this muscle on this big pedestal when it is something that we can all start to tap into, and that's the piece that I really like, that you always are challenging it, certainly challenging me too. And I know that you do that with other people, and you do it in a very gentle, kind way. So, you know, just so people know that they too can learn this and they too can start to access it. So, okay, we have another caller. I believe we have Betsy on the line. Betsy, are you there?
Hi, Betsy.
Hi. Hello.
How you doing, Betsy? How's it going, Betsy?
How much fun is this?
Super fun. I love having callers. I get like 1 or 2 callers on my show, and you know, because we don't have live tarot readings, we just require doing
So, do you have a particular area that you were liking to ask about, Betsy?
No, ma'am. I'm going to just let you go with whatever comes in for you.
Okay. Well, I'm going to start with you, Betsy, on your body. I'm just going to start with like your pelvis, actually. So the energy for me went like right to the pelvis, because it's you, Betsy, and I love you. So, and I actually haven't had that sensation around your body before, and I've been around your body, but right now it feels like there's like some changes going on there, right? So,
yes, ma'am.
So how cool is that? Like, if you start to actually notice, it's as if your bones are moving internally. So if you're getting really wacky sensations and like all the questions you're asking are like, not that, not that, you can even ask like, are things physically moving internally? And you might be like, that's what it is. Oh. It's like your entire skeleton is readjusting from your pelvis out, and it's starting like right in your sacroiliac in your pelvic area, and like starting to unwind. So when that shows up for people, their body can sometimes go into tremors, like a trauma is coming out, right? So there are like some really cool things you can do with that. Like you can, there is like a simple trauma release. There's the access trauma one too, if you haven't had the trauma hold yet. But there is like a lot of, so some body work might really like be a contribution to just to allow it to ease out more. Just as like your body has this like, whoa, I can kind of like hear it going, whoa.
Yeah, for sure it is. How cool.
So yeah, for me, like your body seems to be like such a contribution to your business, particularly this year. Like as it starts to unravel, it's like the mysteries of you get unlocked. I don't know how else to say it, but it's like so much information and awareness is coming out of your pelvis. It's like I just get it as like songs. It's like the angels are coming in, Betsy.
Oh my God, I love it.
Wow. Isn't the body so cool in contributing to us, though?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal.
Thank
you so much for calling in, Betsy. We really appreciate your participation.
Oh my God, how much fun. Thank you. Anything else there, or is that it?
Actually, send me a little note on Facebook, because I got a lot of information on you. That was like in 1 second I could talk to you for like an hour, but there's like so much.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
Yeah, nervous system stuff going on. Like, wow. Cool.
Yeah. We could do 2 shows of this week. Okay, You're welcome, Betsy. So we have our next caller, Keisha, is on the line. Hello, Keisha.
Hi, hello, Keisha. I predict that you will actually be acknowledged as the goddess you are in the future. No, I'm kidding. We already have acknowledged you as that, so let's see what else we have.
Keep those acknowledgments coming.
I love it.
Oh my gosh, this is so cool. Do you have a specific area, Keisha, you want to ask about?
I don't know if we call it a specific area. It is moving into the next phase, step, process, part of it, whatever we call that. It feels like is connected to business, and I could be making it more difficult than it really needs to be. So
cool.
What do you got, Goddess?
Well, I'm going to pick some cards on you because my first thing was really on relationship for you, and then
that was too.
Okay, cool, because I'm going to look at that.
Everyone is waving. I love it.
That's awesome. So, the first energy that came up is like, well, I felt like burping for you there, Keisha, and there you go. Now that's all I have for you. No, I'm kidding. So I actually did desire picking a few cards for you, because it's like, I'm going to paint a picture for you here. So the Knight of Discs is one of the cards that came up. He's somebody who tends to be very guarded, and so he can be the energy of the person that is coming into your life, and also where you're at right now. So he wears a lot of armor. Not all the knights actually wear armor, but he particularly does. And so also, so for business, I want to talk about that. And I'm going to jump back and forth because it's like business, relationship, business, relationship, business, relationship. So that's seesaw energy. And so what would it actually be like if you planted a seed in any one of those areas and really nurtured it till you see it sprout and grow? So the Knight of Discs, he's like the equivalent of harvest time. And so he's all about like that you've actually planted the seeds, you've nurtured them, you're watching them grow, you're ready for harvest. And it's like it would be a lot easier to harvest this field if you had the tools to harvest it. It's like he's sitting there going, okay, well, I require my farmers to come in and help me out. Like I require somebody to assist on this. So for your business, I feel like he doesn't always have that sensation. So today it just feels like, where are my assistants? So would you be willing to have people in your life that would be like contributing to your business? And what if it was a lover that was also contributing to your business? What a novel concept.
I will have some of that too, please.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. And?
So the other card that follows is the Queen of Cups, and she's very self-reflective, and she can sometimes like wallow in her own crap for a really long time. Be really overly emotional. She's like the drama queen of the deck.
Yeah.
Like if she is going to have a career, be in theater, because you're going to do really well at that. It's like natural. It's natural, not natural. It's natural. So,
oh my God, that is awesome.
Oh boy.
And for her, she can sometimes like land herself into unconsciousness with all the energies that she perceives because of all the emotional stuff. So it's like having that like really being clear and seeing how you are reflected in other people as well as how other people are reflected in you. It's like there's this I feel kind of like you're like Alice in the Looking Glass. Like there's this staring into this like hole, like what's on the other side of that? There's something magical over there. So it's like you're very aware that there's this amazing wonderland on the other side if you just step through. And at the same time, you're kind of like, this can't be, no, I don't know. So there's a lot of, with the Queen of Cups, as much as she's like one of the most intuitive cards of the deck, she's like one of the top 4 psychic cards of the deck. She also can be really, really get overburdened by how much she perceives. Like she perceives so much.
Wow.
Yeah. So one of the things for you to start to incorporate more of, like the Three of Discs come up. So start to ask what movement would your body like to do? And start to really like get how your body works for you. So this card is Corks, and it's the Three of Discs, and it's about like putting all these cogs together to get your system working. So looking at your body physiologically, it's almost to me like if you really got down and dirty with anatomy and you were like, oh, there's this here and there's that there, like you have some killer capacities with like medical intuition. So just adding some information to it, you could like be going into hospitals and being their X-ray.
Wow.
Okay.
So just something to play with.
How does it get any better?
And there are hospitals that hire people out for that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That helps. Thank you. Wow.
You're welcome.
That's phenomenal. Thank you, Keisha, for coming online. So we're going to take our final break of the night. I think we could be going on for hours. We only have a few minutes left in the show, and we have another caller waiting. So as soon as we get back, we're going to jump onto our last caller of the night, and we're going to talk about what else is possible with this capacity with Miss Milica, or better known as our goddess Licenza tonight. So please stay tuned. You are listening to Inspired Choices on A2Zen.fm, and we will be right back with Milica.
Many of us make choices in our lives based on the past or what others think. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire in this moment? By tuning into Inspired Choices Radio Show with Possibilities Coach Christine McIver, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to do just that. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to create the life and living you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices Radio Show.
What if you really do change molecules by your interaction with them? What if the change you've been looking for is right before your eyes? What if the uncomfortableness that comes with difference could be fun? What if the closed-minded people of the world no longer determined our world? What if gratitude trumps judgment every time? What if your kindness healed the world? What if the earth is asking for your help? And what if you had the resources to give it? This is your invitation to step into something that Einstein, Marie Curie, Picasso, Da Vinci, Shakespeare, Aristotle all knew to be true. Hi, my name is Dane here. 13 years ago, I started to truly ask questions. Actually, I started to be the question, and everything changed for me. What if there are no dumb questions, or any question too large? What if you being you are the gift and the change this world requires? Is now the time? For more questions to create a change in your world, sign up for a free video series at beingyouclass.com. My gift to you, beingyouclass.com.
This is Inspired Choices Radio Show with Possibilities Coach Christine McIver. To participate in the program today, please call toll-free in the U.S. 815-880-8255, TALK, or Canada 613-800-8736. Or you can Skype us. Our Skype name is A2Zen.fm. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@inspiredchoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Well, here we are. What a fast-moving show tonight. Talk about amazing predictions with Milica Jelenic. Milica, you're so talented. I absolutely love it. And I love how you can just drop from one thing to the next thing, just jumping all over the place. It's amazing. And people, you need to get in touch with this woman. She's pretty friggin' potent, and she's got some amazing creations coming your way. And I just adore you. We only met a short while ago, less than 2 years ago, and it's been a wonderful journey. I can't wait to see what else we create together going forward. So
I hear you. And it was love at first sight. Let's admit it.
It was. There was a hug, and it started there. I also want to just drop in before we take our last caller to let people know that I have a number of creations coming up. I have Choosing Big is an amazing creation with another potent being, Rhonda Burns. And we are starting that call the middle of January. It is going to knock your socks off. You'll be seeing that coming around very, very soon. We also have Beyond the BS Business class that Milica is actually co-creating and assisting with me on that. And I'm getting that out in January as well, along with starting up some new radio show hosts. So if you're looking to start your future with a radio show, please connect with me. We've got some amazing things that we're going to be creating going forward. So we have our last caller, Eleanor. I believe Eleanor's on the line. Are you there, Eleanor?
I'm here, Christine. Hi.
Hi, darling. Welcome.
Hello, Eleanor.
Thank you, my love. Thank you. Hi, Milica.
Hi, Eleanor. How are you?
I'm doing good, lovey. And yourself?
Good. So are we picking a card on any topic in particular, or am I just going to like run with the wind on this for you?
No, I was going to go with the business work, but no, I'm going to go with the romantic area.
Love it.
What I really want to know, to be honest with you, am I going to get laid for 2016?
Where do you live, Eleanor? Because I'll come to you.
So I'm getting straight to the point here.
Okay, I love that. So what's your address exactly? Because you send it to me private message. I can show up at your door. January 2nd. I'm there for you. As a friend,
okay,
I'll make sure you get laid in 2016. From me to you. Happy 2016.
How does it get any better than that?
Oh, Eleanor, I adore you. So we have 4 minutes left, guys.
Okay, we're going to go for the will Eleanor get laid? I love that question.
Let's just get to it.
Let's get to it. Oh, darling, if you're willing to surrender to like your carnal nature, you can get laid so fast. You were like, so first it's the Hangman, and it's a card about surrender and just like allow the people to show up. And then I picked another one to support it, the Queen of Wands, and she's like the dominatrix of the deck. So it's like there's a little like fun stuff going on there. So are you willing to like get how much you love being a dominatrix in relationships and just be like, and just if you're willing to surrender to that animalistic nature that the Queen of Wands is, she is so fiery and she's like, I want you. And she's willing to tell men like what to do, when to do it, how to do it, and like yesterday have it done. So if you're willing to tap into that part of you that's like, I know I have that, but I'm not really willing to be that in this 10 seconds. But even if you chose it for 10 seconds, how fast would you get laid? Fast.
Yeah, immediately.
You would. Like fast.
You know what it is, Melissa? It's more about, it feels more like unleashing than tapping in.
Okay, unleashing. What if it's not actually tied up anywhere and all you have to do is go, there's a part of me right there, and if I just tap into that energy, even though I only think that it's like being hidden or something, like just tap into that part of you, and then it's like, what if it isn't actually tied up?
Okay, that's a different way of looking at it. Okay.
Yeah, because if we tie it up, we have to find all the keys and all the locks to undo it. And what if there are no keys or locks?
Yeah. That's it. So it's the energy. You know, my head can, I can trip away on the head, and it's really about getting that sexual energy.
Cool. Have you ever heard Gary Douglas say, for head trippers, bring that energy into your crotch? And every time you notice your head tripping, bring it down.
Yes. Okay.
So cool.
Yeah, and the more you're willing to get turned on by everything, like, and turn on everything, oh, how much fun can you have? Like, I literally could see you walking into any space.
Yeah, I in the car because my ankle was screaming at me.
Okay, we have another person in the call.
They'd like a reading, too. They just didn't know.
Who doesn't like a reading?
So what was that about turning on?
Yeah, so willing to turn on yourself, your body, like willing to bring that energy from your head into your crotch and into the earth, and have the earth contribute to you, finding somebody who's to play with. So, it could be like as if your feet are like magnetized to like walk in a certain direction to like take you to an event or a bar, and how much can the earth contribute to you getting laid? Because the earth is like, we'd like Eleanor to get laid. This would be for all of us.
Eleanor, I'm sorry we have to cut you off, but we're just about done for tonight. Thank you so much, and we look forward to hearing about how this all works out for you in the early part of 2016.
Getting laid.
Let you go, girls. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Getting laid and getting paid.
Getting laid and getting paid. Melissa, thank you so much for all of this. This is amazing. And what is your other website? Is it magicalmelitza.com?
No, it's actually melitzajelenic.com. So I'll put that also in the chat room for everybody. It's just melitzajelenic.com, and that's got like all the things that I do.
That's phenomenal. And everyone, if you would like to tune in next week, I'm going to have another special guest with me, Tanya Gabriella. She's an astronumerologist, and she actually a wealth astronumerologist, and she's an amazing being as well that brings her capacities to the world. So I'd love to hear from you. Remember, you can always make another choice. Merry Christmas!
Thank you for choosing to listen to Inspired Choices Radio Show. Christine McIver will return next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Time on A2Zen.fm. We hope you'll join us. Until then, have the best week of your life by making the choices that bring you all that you desire.